What's up, guys? Reploidbill, and I'm back again with another I Collect special NES collection. So, I'm going to go over every single thing I own in my NES collection. And should you choose, there's a comment section below, and for the Let's Play podcasts that we're starting to do, if you would like to see any of these games or a review on the game or such not, please post in the bottom. Tecmo Bowl. Anybody remember Tecmo Bowl? This game was pretty sweet for its time. Pretty sweet. I can't say too much about it except for anybody that doesn't remember, football games were awfully basic, and this was one of the very first ones ever that, like, it had kind of real teams. Like, you could be the Bears, you could be, you know, different people like that, Green Bay or whatever. Green Bay's not in it, but you get the idea. And for as basic as it is, it's still fun to play even today. Even today, I've sat down and I've had some fun with it, so that goes to show how well it's aged. NES Open Tournament. This was one of the only golf games I've ever bought, and I've never bought another. It's golf. Yay. MiG-29. This is one of these weird games that was kind of like unlicensed, like it never should have been on the Nintendo to begin with, and then, well, we got this. This is not a bad game, actually. It's from Camerica, and it's in one of those weird things, and if it doesn't work in your system, there's a switch right there. You hit that switch in there, see it? And that'll change how the game works. So if it doesn't work, you can hit that switch and it might work. It's not a very good game. It's just not, but it's not terrible either. I actually enjoy playing it more than I would enjoy playing, say, Top Gun or something like that. So let's keep moving. Super Mario Brothers 3. In my opinion, this is still the best Mario game that I've played. Super Mario World is good. Super Mario Brothers 3 has just aged like a fine wine. Just, it never got old. I can play it even today all the way through, and it's exciting and fun the entire time I play it, no matter how many times I've played it. And that says a lot about a game, because games, they get boring. And you can guarantee that there's going to be an entire Mario legacy, as much of it as I can possibly dig up for the podcast Let's Plays. That's a guarantee. And just to show you that I'm already on my way, that's the Super Mario 2. I got that. Which Super Mario 2, I've got kind of mixed opinions about it. I don't quite like it like the other Mario games. It never felt like a Mario game to me. But hey, whatever, right? Metal Gear Snake's Revenge. Is this a real Metal Gear game? No. Snake's Revenge is not done by Hideo Kojima. Now, why do I make a big deal about that? Because just like if you were reading a manga, say Dragon Ball Z, and all of a sudden the creator quits, all of his ideas go with him, his legacy walks out the door also. Capcom, you should keep this in mind, because the creator of Mega Man is gone. However you plan to continue, it better be phenomenal. Oh wait, that's right, you seem to have just given up entirely. Let's move on. Silver Surfer. Nothing that special. You can see it. It's Silver Surfer. This is a game that is so dreadful. You've probably seen the reviews. They're awful. Everybody likes to make fun of it. They do it for a reason. It's a terrible, terrible game. And I'm sure you'll get to see it because we've had it planned to play for a long time. There's a new movie or not new, but one of the newer remakes that's coming out. Hollywood's all about remakes. In fact, the entire industry is, of course, built on the opportunity to remake something. And what's coming up soon? Dun 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 dun. You remember this? RoboCop. RoboCop is one of those things that he probably would have done better if he would have got some crossover type stuff, like RoboCop vs. Terminator in an actual movie. That would have been pretty sweet. But it just never happened. It's not gonna happen. Let's not get our hopes up. Let's stick to comic books and video games. And for what it's worth, the actor who played RoboCop did recently have a very, very big role. For anybody that has not yet seen Star Trek Into Darkness, RoboCop's the bad guy. Yeah? Yeah? Actually, it is really cool. I'm not trying to be mean or whatever. It's really, really cool. You need to see it. Punch-Out! Punch-Out is another one of those games that I'm going to do an entire legacy review on. I'm going to do, of course, Punch-Out, and then I'm going to do Super Punch-Out, and then I'm going to do the new Punch-Out for the Wii. And I'm going to do all 3 games, and I'm looking forward to doing all 3 games. But, as it stands right now, sadly, I don't have Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I just have Punch-Out. Regardless, it's fun. It's fun. It really is. The only big difference between the 2 games is that the final character that you fight is not Mike Tyson. He's different. So, there's that. Speaking of Mega Man, here's Mega Man 2. One of the greatest Mega Man games to have ever been made. Mega Man 2 is one of those games that kind of, it didn't change anything, but it felt like it was somehow pushing the boundaries, like it was somehow doing better than the last game, and really nothing is different. They didn't add the charge shot. They didn't really give you any extra abilities. They didn't change anything. You still run, jump, shoot, but it's done so well, and the music and just the level of balance that you feel throughout the entire game, it was really, really good, and I don't know if there's been a Mega Man game that's done better than that ever. This is Super Mario, Duck Hunt, and Track and Field all in one cartridge. It's kind of funny how it kind of reminds me of something that's taking place now. Like back on Nintendo, you could find these type of things. It'd be Mario and Duck Hunt, some shooting game and something else, this and that, different things like that. And now we're actually seeing on the PS3s, and possibly soon the PS4 is going to do a lot of this. We see the HD collections, and Metal Gear Solid's got a big one coming out, but it's not going to be like this. Like this is 3 games on one thing, and actually there are things exactly like that, like the Prince of Persia and the Devil May Cry HD collections. They were like 3 games on one disc. So it's kind of funny how gaming hasn't changed as much as we'd like to think. We're still kind of falling back on the same old gimmicks that caught us back then, but hey, if it ain't broken, I'm still playing, you're still playing, we're still playing. King's Knight. This is one of those weird, obscure Squaresoft games. Well, actually it was Square at the time. It was not, it was, they didn't really put the names, they didn't really put soft at the end, it was just Square. And, they also were not yet with Enix, so that was pretty sweet. It's not a great game, but it's interesting. It's pretty decent, so we're probably going to do a cover of that too and let you see what it's like. It's different is the best thing I could possibly say for it. And different is not necessarily bad. It's just that we usually know Square for doing RPGs, and it's not an RPG. Ninja Gaiden 2. When I was a kid, I remember playing this game, and I remember getting mad because I couldn't beat it. Now, when I play the game and I can't beat it, for some reason it doesn't make me mad. It's just like, maybe I accepted a long time ago I was never going to beat it. Is it a bad thing? No, Ninja Gaiden is sweet. From start to finish, it's sweet. Even though I've never seen the finish. Top Gun. Everybody's seen the James Rolfe review. Let's not get into that. We'll probably do a playthrough of it, but I'm not going to make a big, elaborate, funny thing out of it. If it turns out funny, it turns out funny. But Top Gun, really, for what it is, for what it was, it's not that bad of a game. It's got its mess ups, and I'm sure that anybody that's watched James Rolfe, or the Angry Video Game Nerd, the Angry Nintendo Nerd, they know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go over to his channel and check it out. It is pretty funny. It's probably worth your time. Everybody that owns a Nintendo should go out of their way to get the game that is still the highest selling game on the entire library, platform, all of it. Tetris. Man, Tetris is simple. It's simple. It's one of those puzzle games. It's one of those things that for a while came with every cell phone. It was sold with every Game Boy. There was knockoff versions of it all over the place. It's Tetris. We don't really need to say anything else. Hide-Lide. The Angry Video Game Nerd has also done one of these. You should probably go see it, because I cannot explain to you just how tragic that game is without actually showing it to you. And since that's not what I'm doing right here, that game is awful. Look, maybe this will say, this is $1. And to be honest, it was overpriced. I don't have the robot to play it with, but I do have the game. It's Gyromite. Remember how long you spent building tracks? Or if maybe this is a little before your time, Excitebike was one of the very first times that we ever not only raced on a track, but we made our own. And as gimmicky as it was back then, for some reason it was like, just build the ramps, just build the ramps. We need to take this guy, like he's gonna go, we're gonna blast him out of the roof of the arena. And of course, you know, you couldn't get all cool like that, and most of the time you would build a track that was almost impossible to race on because of what you wanted to do. But it was awesome. It was awesome. Known as Dragon Quest today, I believe that's more proper translation, Dragon Warrior actually started the series over here, and for what it's worth, it was a great Japanese RPG, and even now is still a great Japanese RPG. If you have a working copy, or if you can find a working copy that saves, and they're getting pretty rare now. Mine will keep a save, but I have to play it at least every 3 or 4 days. Otherwise, the save deletes itself. So, after about a week or two of leaving the cartridge alone, the save goes away. So that's kind of sucks. But hey, that's one of the prices we pay for playing and collecting old games. So what do you know? Castlevania. Castlevania is awesome. Like, by today's standards, it's not that impressive, and it's awfully hard, and it's awful hard because of the way the control scheme was. Believe it or not, the control scheme was made difficult on purpose, so it's really not a fault of anybody's. They didn't make a bad game. When you play it, you're gonna feel like you don't have full control, and this can be annoying, but the truth of it is that they chose to do it that way on purpose. It was supposed to give you this feeling of like everything's faster, everything's stronger than you, like you're struggling to survive type of thing. You need to stop Dracula. It's not going to be easy. And it added to an atmosphere and a feeling, but it also added to the aggravation that you will die over and over and over again. My last 3 games are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which, if I have to say anything about it, For those of you that haven't seen, we already have a 4 years for 4 Turtles video out. Go check that out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's pretty funny, and that game is hard. There's just no other way to put it. It's a difficult game. Luckily, the game was well received. Even though it was a terrible game, it was well received, and it was received enough to give us this, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. This was the arcade game, and it was kind of a port of the arcade game that was actually playing at the time, and needless to say, the Nintendo's version of it is not up to specs with what we were playing in the actual arcade, but for what it was Turtles at home, and we could have fun and enjoy it. So, even though it was a little buggy, and it was definitely one of the harder games that you could play, and it wasn't Double Dragon standard by any means, it was fun, and it was Turtles, and we enjoyed it, and we played it. But the best Turtles game released for the Nintendo had to be the Manhattan Project, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Easily the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game released on the Nintendo. From start to finish, it is a flawless masterpiece of beat-em-up goodness. And sadly, that's one of those games that's kind of fell into obscurity. There's a couple games that tried to keep it alive by taking a new route and advancing the ideas, like Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. But really, for today's standards, the scrolling beat-em-up game is a dead genre. And even though there are a couple mini games and things like that that come out for things like Tekken, we have to face the facts. Some of these older games that we enjoy, we're only going to enjoy through a retro experience. And even though every now and then something gets remade, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Reshelled, or for that matter, the Double Dragon Neon that was released on the marketplace, while it's fun to indulge and see something new, the truth is that these are just small cop-outs that cater to the people like me and you that haven't forgotten how fun it was simply to walk down the street and beat up every single person that happened to walk down the street on the same side of the road as you. They're games that are no longer around, and sometimes I miss them, but that's part of gaming. Always moving forward and always advancing our ideas and trying to play the next best game. I love going into retro. And that's the reason I've been recollecting a lot of these Nintendo games. This is everything I've collected so far. And as I pick up new things, I'll kind of do a video game pickup or, obtained new stuff. And I'll do updates to these type of videos and let you know what I'm getting. So if there's things you want to see, there's a couple things that are already planned. If there are a couple games that I might not have planned to show you and you want to see them, leave comments in the section below. Video responses are always welcome, and if you guys enjoy our content, please subscribe. Later on.